This week's podcast is kindly sponsored by Who Knows Wins. This is a new social sports game where mates, family and colleagues pit their wits for real money. Use the free app to play directly against your pals in your own custom league or join the thriving community of players in one of our existing competitions like this week's Pick 10 League with a guaranteed £6,000 prize fund. Keep on top of the action with live updates and bask in the glory with live chat. You don't need to get all the predictions right. You just need to get more than anyone else. Guaranteed winners every day. Download the app now from the link below in the description. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Same Old Arsenal podcast. Episode I don't know, I've lost count. As you can see, we're a bit thin on the ground this evening. Just like old times, look. It's just like old times. Just me and the judge. Harry's busy at work. Being on telly and radio and all that, what. Daniel's on holiday, and Graham, unfortunately, is feeling a bit under the weather. So I hope you feel better soon, Graham. If you're watching, I'm sure you are. Get well soon, mate. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to everyone watching us live. Hello. Thank you very much for coming along. And, of course, hello to everyone listening to us on the old Spotify or a cast, or Apple Podcasts, or you know the drill. All those podcast outlets. Hundreds and thousands of them out there. Hello to you if you're listening to us on one of us. Judges, how are you doing, mate?
All good. And have a good weekend, Craigie boy, wasn't it? Look, listen, all the results so far have gone our way. And we got the job done yesterday as well, got the win. And I thought we played well yesterday, if I'll be honest. I thought, 3-2 didn't really justify what the actual play of our play was like, really. I think that, we've got to be a little bit more ruthless. But no, I was more than delighted to get the 3 points. I thought, well, do you know, I don't know about how you felt about it, but even though we won, I thought, well, the Man United game was, if they won or lost, but I watched the bits of it, and they were poor as anything, very poor.
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, Manchester City didn't even get into third gear, did they? I thought Manchester City had 2-3 more gears to go.
I thought it was a stroll, what I see of it. And do you know what? Before the game, I don't know how you felt about it. We was going up to the Watford game. We said, you know what? I think Man United could nick something off of them. You know what I mean? I felt that they could do it. And then they never really give it a go, did they? They weren't even in the game,
No,
so
they gave up, didn't they?
They
gave up after the third one.
Yeah, and I think they probably were before that game. I would have said, mainly they'd probably be our main rivals for top four. If someone said to me, if Arsenal ain't going to get it, who did you think was going to get it? I would have said Man United. I'm not so sure now, So I think that Spurs have still very much in it, and that. I'm going to say this now. If I was a Spurs fan, I'd be quite confident going up to Man United next week, thinking I might be able to get something from that game because, I don't really see any dangers of them. I really don't. I thought they were that poor.
No, I'd definitely be backing Spurs to beat Man United.
Yeah, I think.
Unfortunately,
I think that they're going to go up to Manchester this year and be unbeaten.
Yeah. I mean, look. I mean, that's for another conversation. But what about us yesterday, Lee? You were all there, Harry, Lee, and Dan. You put up a nice picture. I put up on Twitter. That was nice to see you all at the game, Lee. For sections of that game, it was like watching Wengerball. It was absolutely superb. That third goal, I have been watching over and over and over again. What a goal. What a team goal. When it went in, I jumped up and I said to my kids, record that and watch that every day because that is how you play football. I thought it was that good. It was amazing. I mean, Arsene Wenger sitting at home watching that in tears, I reckon.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what I'm going to say? First and foremost, it was a really good game of football to watch. It was a good game. I thought it was end to end. I thought, I'm going to be really honest with you. I felt that Watford played their part in it. I don't know because it was of the early goal, but that sort of went out the window a little bit of them sort of going to be defending and we're going to be just like trying to break them down. I felt that they went for it as much as they could do as well. I thought that it was a really, really good game end to end. We could have been a goal down in the first 10 seconds. If it weren't for that offside, it was close. I didn't think we started off great in that first minute or so. But then, a bit of... I've watched it 4 times now, right? And I like to know from the comments on yourself, Craig, Odegaard's back flick. Did he mean that? Or was it a little bit of luck? Because I've watched it. It's sensational if he's meant that. And then, like, Saka goes through, plays it back to him. Beautiful finish. And it was a wonderfully constructed goal by them two. By the way, them two were fantastic yesterday to watch. Absolutely fantastic. And then we're 1-0 up, and I'm thinking, well, like this go on and win this comfortably. Credit to Watford. It was a fantastic goal from them. An absolutely fantastic goal. And you think, oh, geez, get a goal like that. We don't really need that. But I thought from then on to half time, I thought that was some of the best stuff we played. We controlled the game. Another fantastic finish from Saka. I think that was a fantastic finish as well. And then, I thought that in the second half, totally in control. As you said, wonderful goal. Lovely flick from Odegaard. Lovely touch from Lacazette. And wow, what a finish. Right in front of us fans as well. That was as good as it gets. That's as good as it gets. And I actually turned around. I think it might have been to Harry or Dad and said, it might have been Russ. I can't remember who it was now. I said, this is the most comfortable I've felt at Vicarage Road for a very long time, Craig. I thought we was in total control.
I know you were there, and it's a completely different, it's a completely different thing of being there and watching it on telly. But I weren't comfortable at 3-1. My brother-in-law was here with me, and I said, "No, we need another one here. We need another one here before I'm going to feel comfortable." And especially when it went to 3-2, the old back door was twitching a bit.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. You're right. I think like that. They scored 2 minutes from the end, and then there was 5 when they put up 5 minutes. I thought, whoa, But I don't know how you. It may be different. What's yours? I always felt we looked comfortable. I didn't think that. I didn't think they was going to score from there. I thought, do you know what I said to? I will see this out now, but I just felt there was a little bit of. I don't say. A little bit of arrogance from us. I wouldn't say it was too much. Like we just got a little bit cocky with ourselves with the way we was playing and just thought that we was going to get 3 or 4, 5 or 6. I don't know. And we just done a few things that I'm not saying I weren't happy with because I was happy with the performance, but there was a couple of times when I felt we should have shot and we was just trying to get another one to go. I know we got one to go. I think they thought, we'll try and get another one. I don't know. Substitutions I felt were substitutions of the game's won. Let's just give players some minutes, and it could have come back and bit us. But that's no criticism of the players or the manager or anything like that. I just think that sometimes that can happen in a game, and that's why you've got to be on your mettle all the time, Craig. And fortunately, we defend. I thought we defended quite well again when it mattered, and it was listen. We was going, I don't know how you was thinking, like boring 1-0 I would have took. And I thought that's what something like that,
For real.
But it was an entertaining game and a good 3 points. So,
certainly was.
Listen, I know a lot of Arsenal fans are saying, it's great seeing us where we are. And it is great seeing us in 4th. But we've got to think beyond that. Let's see if we can chase Chelsea down there. And not be satisfied with where we are as fans. I've seen a lot of things on Twitter saying, isn't it nice to see Arsenal in 4th? Well, 10 years ago we weren't saying that, was we? It was a failure. So why at this moment in time it's really, really good. We've still got to, as fans, push and push the ball, push to the manager. And try and get a bit higher and go from there. But I thought, at this moment in time, 4th would be fantastic. That's the platform we need to launch from. And I felt that that was a really good performance yesterday.
When you talk about top 4, we're in the top 4 now, and we should be pushing on. Pushing to get Chelsea. I mean, if we, I believe we'll be, 2 points behind them if we win our games in hand. And then the interview I see with Bukayo Saka yesterday after the game, you mentioned about how they're all on side and they all realise what it is they've got to do, and they're playing cup finals every week. I mean, that kind of mentality is what is the mentality that you want to hear. And coming from listening to that kind of talk, I believe that they think that as well, Lee. I believe that, yeah, okay, we're up in 4th, great. Let's go. Let's get better. Let's go for 3rd. Do you think the team are looking at that? Right, okay, we're 4th, great. Let's just keep winning games and see where we go.
Yeah.
For 1 minute, I don't believe the players are going to settle for 4th.
No, I'd like to think so, because if you aim for 4th, you're going to get 4th. That's But if you're aiming for 3rd, you might not get 3rd, but you're going to get 4th. You know what I mean? I think that's the attitude we've got to go for now. I think that at this moment in time, we as a club, and I think as fans, we're still looking behind. We're looking at Everton to try and do us a favour today. I don't think they will, but we're looking for that. But what I'm looking at and what I'm saying is, I've seen Manchester United yesterday, that are poor. West Ham, I thought, put up a good show, if I'll be honest, against Liverpool, but they're further down the track. Tottenham, if they win today, will certainly be in with a chance, and if they beat Man United. But what I'm looking at is they're all a little bit inconsistent. So why, try and forget about them and just try and get to Chelsea? Why can't we try and attack Chelsea, see what we can do?
Absolutely.
Well, I think that we get 3rd. No, I don't. But I think that we've got a chance of putting a little bit of pressure on them and another couple of wins. I've said all along, Craig, that we need to win all 5 of these games. We've won 4 of them now. We need to beat Leicester on Sunday, and then we go into the Liverpool game, where I hope we can win that game. But if we got a draw, you wouldn't be sort of like too despondent, depending on how the game goes, of course. But that it's a difficult game. But I think I expect us to get 3 points yesterday. I expected us to get the points against Wolves. I expected the games against Brentford, and I expect us to beat Leicester. Do I expect us to beat Liverpool? No, but I don't expect us to lose now. I think that, we're going to go in that with a lot of confidence. Listen, they've got a lot to play for, a lot of pressure on that game as well. So I feel that, and if we was to win that game, then it would be a real good shot in the arm. I'll tell you what was a very, very good. I had a conversation with one of my Spurs pals yesterday. He messaged me, Mark, and we were talking about the Vets game, because obviously I didn't go, just talking about that. And he said, you keep bloody winning. And I like that, man. Like that. They've won again. You know what I mean? Like, when Arsenal are winning now, it's knocking the. They've won again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and he's going tonight, and he's saying that puts pressure now on Tottenham to win tonight. Do you know what I mean? Like, a little bit more pressure, like, and that's what we've got to do. Arsenal have won again. Not stuffing out the teams around us. Don't give them any hope. Don't give them any hope that we're going to be cool. I heard Gary Neville yesterday saying, I don't trust Arsenal. But after watching that, he still trusts Man United. That tells me that he's a Man United fan, and he's not really looking at the bigger picture. So win your games. You can't. We won yesterday against Watford. Man United fans would have been disappointed going into the ground knowing that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what we've got to do. We've just got to keep winning the games that we're expected to win. And then if you keep winning the games you're expected to win, we ain't going to be far short. We've got some very, very difficult games coming up, Craig. Very, very difficult away games. So we need. I don't know about you, but didn't it look much better? 4th with games in hand. Other than 6 with game in hands, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure. Look,
such a big difference, massive difference.
Absolutely, and obviously that's giving us confidence. And of course, I mean, as football fans, that's giving us the confidence. And I'm sure that confidence must filter through into the dressing room as well. They must be talking about it together. They must see what they've started to achieve together. And obviously that must, I mean, you've been in football teams, I've been in football teams, everyone's been in football teams. When you're winning and you're in a team, Everything is 100 times better. You feel more together when you're winning. You know, the relationships are better when you're winning. I mean, I was a goalkeeper. You know, relationships with the on-field players are better. You do your job, I'll do my job. You know, you're all high five. You know, so confidence is a big thing, I think, with Arsenal, and I think we're starting to see a very, very confident team coming through. I would have liked to have seen it a bit earlier on in the season, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, but that grows. I think it grows. I remember playing in a team when maybe a little bit like Arsenal when we were starting to go places. And when I was first in the team, you'd be going away from home, going like, well, I'm not too sure if we win this, but you know what I mean. Like, might be a difficult game today. This is a tough game. And then a few months later, getting on the coach or whatever, going, oh, well, we'll win today. We'll win today. We you know, that mentality, mindset changes, and that changes because you're winning games. You believe in who you've got coming alongside. You know, there might be a player that's signed, or as another player that's, you know, you look around the team and you, as a player, and you think, oh, he's a good player, he's a good centre half, he's a good midfield player, he's a good striker.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah. And I think that we're getting that with the players we've got now. Like, you know, we didn't have Smith Rowe playing yesterday, but we, you know, like Saka, you know, is a quality player. I like it when Roy Hodgson comes over and turns around and says, "Oh, they're a good side." You know what I mean? Like, I know that he's covering up a little bit, but ultimately, no. You know what I mean? I think that they know. I think that Odegaard's looking more and more part of the player. And whether you like Xhaka and Partey, whether you do or whether you don't, what I like about them, we were talking about this yesterday, is that if you're playing up against them, you can't bully them. I don't think you can intimidate them that much. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're not going to get, you know, they're not going to crumble like that. You know, so I like that side of things as well. So we've got two powerful units in midfield that you're not going to intimidate. You're not going to boss. And in fact, I thought they was good yesterday. And Watford are always a big, strong side. I remember watching Watford at home and thinking, oh, God, they're a big, powerful team. How are we going to handle this? Like, but I think that we've grown as a side now. There is a lot more, not with just togetherness with us. There is also that physicality of the side has changed a little bit, Craig. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it now, you know, the spine is maybe not as fluent with footballers and all that, but it's nowhere near as weak. It's strong. You know what I mean? Ben White yesterday, I thought, stood up again. Another good performance. Him and Gabriel are physically strong players. Then you got Partey and Xhaka, physically strong players. We haven't got that physical strong player in the front bit. But I tell you what, for his size and what he does, Lacazette does put himself about. You know, it does take a few bumps and bruises up there. So it's good. Listen, we were talking yesterday, like, you know, how many players are we away from being a really, really good side? I think 3, Craig. You know what I mean? It's not like 5, 6, 7, is it? No more, like, you know. And that's you. Whether you like Mikel Arteta or not, or you don't trust him or whatever, you've got to give him credit for that. You know, and I think that you have. I think that all of a sudden we're nowhere near the finish article. We know that, you know, because even as good as performances it was yesterday, there were flaws in that game yesterday. But ultimately, you do see potential. That there could be a really good side here.
Massive potential. I want to go back to Martin Odegaard, man of the match. For me, clear man of the match. Between him and Saka, I thought Saka was brilliant yesterday. But for me, Martin Odegaard took it, absolutely run the show in midfield. Scored a beautiful goal, involved in nearly everything we've done.
Yeah.
You know, he's had his critics when he came on loan, and then, you know, when we signed him, everyone was like, "Oh my God, this fella ain't no better than Ceballos," this kind of thing. But it just goes to show that when a player comes to a club and the manager gives him a bit of confidence, and the manager shows him, you know, a bit of, you know, that he's one of his main men, what that can do for a player, and what a player we've got on our hands, Lee, with Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, I concur with everything you say there. I think that I looked at him last year and I thought, like, yeah, there's potential. You know, I think that because I don't know really why people looked at him and were sort of saying that, you know, they expected more of him and everything like that. But I always thought that he was quite young and that.
But what I did like was there was a player there. You could see that he could play. You could also see that he could nip things up a little bit in midfield and everything there, but didn't quite have the final touch or the goal scoring. So I think that's something he's got to work on yesterday, because there was one time yesterday, that's twice now in 2 games, he's had the chance to just be really ruthless and just bury it, and he's tried to a little intricate pass and everything like that. You know, when you get the opportunity, bury it. But I felt that he's grown into the way we're playing a little bit. Like I do definitely think that with Partey and Xhaka in there, that helps him out. You can just roam around a little bit more, but he gets into those little pockets, and when he gets into those pockets, he's got fantastic first touch, Craig, and that gives him the little bit of space to do things and all that. Like, you know, he's not looking for a second touch; his first touch, and he's looking to get it away. And what I like about him is that he's going into that, drifting into that little right hand side channel. And I think that he's probably enjoying that, because you know, I'm not criticising Martinelli here, but Saka's just got that lovely little bit of footballing ability as well, so they can play off each other, and it looks really quite intricate and really good. I think with Martinelli, he's a little bit more direct, if you know what I mean, which is what you want. You don't want everybody the same, but yeah, I've been really impressed with him, and even when he wasn't playing well, Craig, his work rate was something there to behold. And people turn around and go, oh, well, yeah, that should be a given work rate. Well, is it? Because I didn't see Ozil giving that sort of work rate. Yeah. I didn't see Man United players giving the work rate yesterday, like, you know. So when people say it's a given, yes, it should be a given, but it's not necessarily a given. And but he works really, really hard for the team. He's not just about himself. He seems like a really good team player as well. Fantastic performance yesterday. He's got to do that against Liverpool, though. I know that sounds like I'm being a bit critical and all that. Like, I want to see him do that against Liverpool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what we brought him in for, you know.
Yeah, that sort of game, that performance against Liverpool, pulling the strings, making them go all over the place. That's what I would like, you know.
Absolutely. I was reading a few things on Twitter today, and a stat that jumped out at me was that Lacazette has now got more assists than Bruno Fernandes this season, which is quite funny, I think. But then, of course, I'm scrolling through Twitter, and people are saying, "Oh, but Bruno Fernandes has scored more goals than Lacazette. He's supposed to be your striker." That's a fair argument, and a very fair point. But my point being, Lee, is how good is it having Lacazette up there providing the assists? I think it's 8 in as many games. I think no 7. Yeah, 7. I think in as many games. If you've got Lacazette up there providing assists for the likes of Martinelli and Saka, are we bothered that he's not scoring goals?
You like him to score goals, obviously, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but ultimately, as long as he's contributing, I said this yesterday, he's contributing. Now, Aubameyang's a goal scorer. That's nothing against Aubameyang. There's lots of players like that are goal scorers, you know, and they don't contribute in other areas. So if they don't score goals, they're not contributing. That has never been put at Lacazette's door. He's always contributed or tried. He's missed good chances, which have cost us games. But ultimately, he's in there to link up play and bring in other players, and, you know, chip in with some goals. And he done that yesterday. Was it a bad performance from Lacazette yesterday? No. Did he score? No. Do we care? No, because we won. It's going to come to it where, you know, like the game against Wolves when he missed that 1-on-1. You know, if we'd have lost that game, people would be there. But listen, we didn't. We got away with it. But he is contributing, and it's not easy up there on your own with the back, with centre halves and everything like that. And he has to, you know, get his first touch right. He has to put the little touches and little neatless things that he's doing there. And he's done them really well, Craigie boy. He's done them really well. And I think at the end of it, listen, he will always get criticism because goals are part of the DNA of a football, aren't they? You know what I mean? It is the first, you know, the first thing you buy. But if you have a look around, we were talking about this the other day as well, like, you know, name me a centre forward that's banging in loads of goals. Harry Kane's form of goal scorers is not there. You know, Jesus doesn't get many goals. The Liverpool's main central striker doesn't get many goals. So Lukaku struggled with goals this season. So it's not just Lacazette that struggled with goals. It seems like most forwards have. But some of these, you know, like goal scorers, if they don't contribute, they're left out. But with Lacazette, that's never been the problem. It's always been about what else he does and what he contributes. I think he's done really well in the last few games, particularly the last two. I felt, in fact, in the game against Watford yesterday, he was very quiet until that Saka chance, and then after that, you know, maybe that gave him the confidence to go on. I don't know, but you know, once we got control of the game, he's very, very an important cog for us to go on and keep ball. We keep the ball really, really well, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, there are times when we control the game a lot better. I don't know if you've noticed that. We go into certain places and we bring the ball out, and people have a little moan on the ground and think, oh, we could have gone there, but it's just keeping the ball, just keeping together. And what that's doing is tiring out their midfield, tiring out their players and all that. Like, so, and he's intricate in that. He's a very, very important part of it. But yes, you would like for him to contribute more goals. If I'll be honest, he didn't really get that many chances. Yes, I don't think he had one. It was a header, if I remember right. But I won't say that was a great chance. But when he gets that chance, Craig, he's got to bury it.
Absolutely. Another nice little stat I brought out, Lee, is that Arsenal are the fourth side in the Premier League to have 3 players, 21 or under, score 5 times in the same season.
That's a good stat.
It's lovely, isn't it? The first team to do it were United in 95-96. The second team were Leeds in 98 and 99. And the last team to have 3 players, 21 and under, score 5 goals in the same season was Chelsea in 2019. So, I mean, that just goes to show how important these young lads are to us at this moment in time. I mean, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, you know, they're all fantastic players. But one player who has gone under the radar again for me, and that's Cedric. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. I think he had 2 saves, didn't he, yesterday, in 2 of the goals?
He was involved in 2. Definitely,
he certainly was. And I thought he'd gone under the radar again yesterday. Arteta's got a headache when Tommy's fit again, hasn't he?
He's got a couple of headaches. He's got a couple of headaches with what he does with Smith Rowe. He's got a definite headache there with Cedric as well. Do you know what I don't know about? If you noticed with Cedric yesterday, he made about 5, and I'm talking 5 sprinted runs, bus-cutting runs, just to overlap. Weren't going to get the ball. He never got the ball once, by the way. But he sprinted 50, 40, 30 yards, and he done it. Knowing he ain't going to get the ball, but he still done it. And he done it again, and he done it again, and he done it again. I was very, very impressed with his work rate yesterday. You know, he ran himself into the ground in the end. I think like he was gone in the end. Yes, he's not quite as good as Tommy Asu defending, but he gives us something going forward, you know, really does. And I think at the end of it, you know, have we missed Tommy Asu? I said that yesterday. Have we missed Tommy Asu? The answer is no. Is that because Tommy Asu's not a bad player? No. It's because Cedric's been playing really, really well. And that's a compliment to Cedric. That's a big, big compliment to Cedric. And at this moment in time, if Tommy Asu's fit come Sunday, I'd expect Cedric to start because, you know, he deserves to, because those sort of performances, forget whose name it is and whatever, when you perform like that, you deserve a bit of a backing. You deserve a bit of an opportunity. And he's played so well now in those 4 games. Opportunities come. Like sometimes if you're a squad player, you only play 1 game or 2 games at the max and you back off. But he's had 4 now, and in those 4 games, he's built a bit of a head of steam. So I think that he deserves to play in the next game. And, you know, what we've got to do is we've got Tommy Asu coming back when we've got those sort of, hopefully, when we've got those 3 games in 6 days. So we can maybe rotate. But for me, at this moment in time, we've got to get Cedric back, keep him playing. Listen, Tommy Asu, when he's fit, will come back because he is a better player and Cedric's the number 2, but give credit where credit's due, and I'm glad you mentioned him because I thought he was superb again yesterday.
Absolutely. 15 wins in the last 25 games, Lee. Compared to the last 2 seasons, we only won 18 and 14 in the whole of the seasons. 15 wins in 25 now for the manager this season. I know we keep talking about it every week. We talk about it every week. Everyone talks about it every week. But one thing I noticed yesterday when I was listening to Mikel Arteta is that he was still, even though he'd won the game, he was still angry about the little mistakes that they were making. He was still angry that the standards had slipped, and that he was angry about whether they were small mistakes, big mistakes, whatever. He just keeps on reeling me in every week, Arteta. He really does. I know I've been a big advocate of him for the last 2 years and this, that, and the other, but I think a lot of people are seeing or changing their minds on him. I've seen a lot of tweets now this week. I think I owe him an apology. I think within the fan base, a lot of people are saying, or perhaps we should give him a chance. Then I was watching TalkSport and Laura Woods and Jamie O'Hara were having an argument. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't know.
They were having an argument about if Arsenal finish in the top 4 this year, is it an overachievement? Now, Laura Woods, the Arsenal, as we all know, is an Arsenal fan. She said it is an overachievement. Whereas Jamie O'Hara came back and said to her, well, it's not an overachievement. You spent £150 million. You should be in the top 4. But I'm kind of siding with Laura Woods, I think. I think if we do finish 4th, it's an overachievement. I think so, because I don't think that anyone expected us to finish in the top 4 this year. And another reason why I think it's an overachievement, that Mikel Arteta is not one of these world-class managers that we see in the league. You've got Klopp, world-class manager. You've got Pep, world-class manager. You've got Tuchel. Is he world-class? Up for debate, but he's certainly better than Arteta. If he's finishing up there with him, it's an overachievement, Lee, is it?
It's a great question, because at the beginning of the season, you'd put Man United there, if I'll be honest, you know what I mean? And if Man United come above us, you'd probably think that we would probably say 5th. But I've always said, I don't care whether it's Mikel or whether it's who's ever in manager, we should be at least the least thing challenging for top 4. Not saying that we should be getting it, but I think that we should be challenging. We haven't challenged it for the last couple of seasons, and that's been poor. This season, I expected us to challenge for it. Did I think we'd get it? No, because I thought Man United wouldn't be as bad as what they are. But after seeing what I've seen of Man United, we should be getting fourth. And it isn't an underachievement, because we're one of the big clubs in this country. There's no two ways about it. Are we bigger than Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City? Not as far as the teams are concerned at this moment in time, but we've still got clout. And I don't think that we should look at it and go, well, it's an overachievement. What we should be doing is going, yeah, we should be challenging for the top 4. And when we get it, expect to get it. And then when we've got it, we move on again. But this top 4 race is not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination for any of these teams now. Like if you look at it, would Man United should be challenging for the title, let alone top 4. So they're going to say that it's disappointing. But ultimately, if everybody plays to their ability, you're in for some sort of top 4 race, aren't you? Because there's 6 teams that are more than capable of doing it. The fact of the matter is, and even Newcastle are going to be brought in, there's going to be 1 or 2 that are going to be left out, Craig. And I think that I wouldn't say it's overachieving or underachieving if we get there, or we don't. I think that it's a very, very difficult answer to answer it, if I'll be honest. I think that we've got at the moment, I'll be disappointed. I think it would be I think we would be an underachievement if we didn't get it this season, with what I've seen as far as teams are concerned. Now, the beginning of the season, you would have backed Man United to get top four, but you know that's on paper. But you know we know it's not played on paper. It comes on what goes on in the season, and there's different things and scenarios that happen during the season. That's what makes it so special, of it all. I think that Arsenal should never be thinking that it's an underachievement to get into top four as a club. I don't think, as a fan, I don't think that I should have, because the fact that the club tells me with my season price tickets and everything like that, that we're paying a lot higher than just being expected to be fourth or fifth or sixth. So, from that point of view, I'm going to go off the bat and say that when you're charging me what you're charging me, I expect us to be in top four or challenging for it, and that's how I feel. And I don't think that that's wrong to feel like that. If we get it this season, I think that it'd be a fantastic achievement. I'm not going to get wrong, and well done to Mikel. If we don't get it, it's how we don't get it. You know, I mean, if we don't get it with the way the teams are playing at the moment, Craig, then that's a failure. But if we get it with Man United all of a sudden playing in top gear, or another team, dare I say it, in top gear, then you'd have to turn around and go, all right, okay. But at this moment, I still think that we're in a prime place to do really well on it. And listen, we're Arsenal Football Club, and I think that we've just sort of forgot about that over the last few years. I'm not saying that we forgot about it, it's the wrong word. We've let our standards drop as fans and as a club as well. We should be expecting to get into the top four, and when we don't, it should be a disappointment. Not, oh well, six is an improvement.
Is that a bit of what's happened over the years? Though? Is that a bit of like, we finished in the top four for 10 years on the trot?
Yeah.
Is that a bit of, what I'm saying is expectant? Is that, have the fans not, I'll be honest with you, I understand what you're saying about we should never lower our standards, but over the last few years, not my standards, but
we all have. Craig boy, we all have. You have, I have, because we've been drummed into it. Oh, the stadium's paying for this and paying for that, and top four is important because we need that fight. So we was all sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like hypnotized into that way of thinking, and so when fans have lowered their expectations, that's not a criticism. It's a reality. That's what we've done. You know what I mean? But Mikel, and to his credit, is telling everybody, no, that's not going to be our standards no more. We're getting higher than that. Loved his interviews, what he said in the last couple of games, by the way, turning around before the game and saying, when the summer we're getting quality in, we're going again, we're stepping it up and all. That is all the good things that you want. And I think that we've gone down a route that probably we didn't want to go down with the young players and whatever, because it's a long process and all that, But if it comes off, Craig, and when we do become successful on it, I think every Arsenal fan should say, right, yep, sorry, Mikel, sorry the Cronkies, sorry whatever, enjoy the ride again, because I don't think as fans we enjoyed the ride under Arsene Wenger because it was expected, you know what I mean? But now we know what can come on to that. So for me, I'm just going to enjoy it, and I'm going to moan. Of course, I'm going to moan if we don't do well and all that, because that's part of being a fan. But ultimately, I do think that we're in a very, very good position with these young kids at the moment. If it's managed and done properly, and that becomes on the owners, that comes on Edu, and it comes on Arteta. But I expect us to Craig, I expect us to beat Leicester. I expect us to beat Wolves. I expect us to beat Liverpool at home, if I'm being honest, because we're Arsenal. Now, whether that happens or not is another thing, but I'm going to that game expecting us to win. I don't expect us perhaps to win those games away from home because I'm more of a realist. But when we're at home, I expect us to win games because we should be winning games. And if we don't, then I'll be disappointed. But that is the same with Manchester City. It's the same with Manchester United. It's the same with Liverpool. They was if you went into the game, and this is the difference of a little bit. Liverpool fans, do you expect to beat West Ham? Oh, yeah, 100%. When we was playing West Ham, tough game. Don't know. We've got to get back to that mentality. Yes, we're going to win that game because we're this nice. And we're that.
It was nice, wasn't it, when we did have that mentality? I remember the Invincible season. It wasn't about whether we were going to win or not. It was by how many. How many goals we're going to score today. Coming off that, just one thing. I obviously another incident that happened in the match was Arteta's role in the third goal, which I thought was quite funny. Standing out of his technical area, gets the ball, throws it to Saka, and of course we go on and score a goal. Can Watford fans, in your opinion, have a say there, Lee? Being out of his technical area, takes the ball, gives it to one of his players, and we go on and score. Do you think they can feel a bit hard done by there?
Yeah, they can do. I've never known it before. It probably has happened before, but yeah, I didn't even know it was it just shows me. Like, apparently someone said that he should have been booked or something for it. Like, you know what I mean? Weren't by the rules and all that. Like, you know, but if the ball didn't really run out of his technical area, did he? He was about 1 yard to 2 yards, and
the ball did come to him. Like, he didn't
come to him more than him running after it and all that. Like, you know, I don't think there's anything right. If it was a minute to go in the game, you're a goal down in racing and getting the ball. I've seen managers do that before. Nothing's been said. Just because we scored it, wasn't it? Like, you know, from that point, yeah. No Watford player moaned about it, by the way.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
No one moaned about it. I think no one sort of said it was the wrong thing. Didn't see anybody going mad about it. It's only when it was brought up afterwards that he sort of had. It'd be interesting to see if it happens again. What will happen?
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
I think it's just the media hating on Arsenal. There was nothing to hate on us yesterday, so they said, "Oh, look, there we go. There's something we can."
Yeah, maybe a little bit of that. Yeah, and I don't really understand why. I don't really understand that why. Really, to be honest, I don't get that. If I'll be honest.
Yeah,
good though.
A few of you in the chat letting me know that there's some questions coming in. Yes, I can see them. There is a lovely little feature on here now where I can actually put them aside into their own little section. So we'll come to those in a second. Don't you worry about it. Another story going around, Lee, before we go on to the questions. Actually, before I even come to that point, the red kit, the red socks, the red shorts, the red shirt. How many times do you think we've worn that kit? All red. I've been a right stat-o this afternoon.
Well, I'm impressed with that. Like, I know someone put it up. We played it against QPR in the 70s. I can't remember Arsenal wearing it that many times. Probably once in my time. So I'm going to say 4 times.
If this stat is to be believed, and from the source that I got it from, we've worn that red kit only 3 times in the last 45 years. All red. Unpopular opinion. I quite liked it. I have to say.
I quite liked it, but you know why against Watford? You know, why didn't they wear the white shirt?
Yeah.
You know, there are times when you could probably wear that kit. Wolves, you can't obviously. It was someone said it was a team that we could have wore it against.
I'm just trying to think.
I can't really think who it could be. You know what I mean? We couldn't wear our away kit. You know, when we played against Wolves, that's it. So that's right. We could have played against Wolves with that kit, but we chose to play with the blue kit.
Right. Okay. But again, why have we got to wear that at Wolves? Yellow, black, and yellow. Why have we got to wear black red shorts?
I don't know. We could have wore the home kit against Wolves. That's what he was saying. Basically, we could have worn it red and white at Wolves instead of the blue kit. You know, so why did we do that at Watford? I don't really understand why we didn't do that. Why didn't we play in the blue kit against Watford yesterday? If we could,
strange.
I don't really know. Unless there's going to be a thing coming out there where they're all selling red shorts tomorrow. I don't really know, like, you know. So I quite liked it. I'm going to say it's something different. I'm not against it. I wouldn't want to see it at the Emirates, though. You know, it's white shorts for me, but you know, because I'm a traditionalist. But I wasn't totally against it, if I'll be honest.
Yeah. One story floating around the media as well today, Lee, is that Marcus Rashford is apparently Marcus Rashford is looking for a way out of Manchester United. He's not very happy about his treatment. He's not very happy about his game time at Manchester United. People are quickly jumping on the gun. No, Arsenal keep away. Arsenal keep away. Now, Marcus Rashford, for me, is a fantastic player, but he has been not given the hand that I think he was expecting at Manchester United. He caused us no ends of problems when he played against us. Full England international, a player lacking in confidence, big time. We can all see that. Would Mikel Arteta be the kind of manager that could get him back to get him back to his best? Would it be at the right price? Someone that we could go for.
Good question. You know what I mean? Like, I quite like Rashford. I think he's a good player. It's just it hasn't worked out for him, man. Why? Because he's been mismanaged. They brought in likes of Ronaldo and people like that. They're not had the faith in him to play him up front as a centre forward and go with it. People will turn around and say, "Oh, don't he's another Welbeck and all that." Like, I'm not. Danny Welbeck done all right for us. It's just that he was injury prone in the end, So it depends what price it would be. And someone just saying in the chat he's on big money at Man United. Of course, he's on big money at Man United. He plays for Man United. I don't think it would be a bad signing for us. He's young. He sort of sets into the format that we've got with the youngsters and everything like that. Listen, if Arsenal go for Rashford, I'm going to back them, because at the end of the day, when it comes to transfers in this last 2 seasons, all that, they've got more right than wrong. Absolutely. So on that stage, I'm not going to question Edu or Mikel on transfers. I think that if anything, that has been a big plus in his managerial reign at Arsenal is his signings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people were saying, when Mikel Arteta brought in White and Tommy Yasu and Ramsdale, oh God, these are rubbish, and they're only substitute players. They've turned out to be revelation. They've turned out to be revelations, So I mean, I think we're going back into stuck up nose fan mode with that signing. I think Marcus Rashford would do well at Arsenal, and I think Mikel Arteta would bring him down at the right price. Marcus Rashford in the middle, Martinelli on the left, and Saka on the right. I don't know about you, but I think that sounds quite tasty.
Well, that sounds all right to me.
Oh, Karen, there you go. We just answered your question. I just clicked on the questions. That was the first one. What are your thoughts on Rashford? And would you take him at the Arsenal? Well, I think we've just answered that one. This one in from Colin. After deadline day this summer, everyone said we spent 160 million on backups. No one, including Arsenal fans, thought we'd finish in the top 4. I agree with you, Colin. Lee? I mean,
I've got to say that. I don't think that we was looking to get into the top 4 at the beginning of the season, maybe because we said that because Man United we didn't think that they would shoot themselves in the foot like they have. But I did expect us to come 5th. If I'll be honest, that's where I would have been putting us down to. And if Man United shoot themselves in the foot, where does that put you? 4th.
Absolutely. This one comes in from Lee. Who is your favourite Arsenal player of the season so far?
Oh, that's a great question. I think there's been some. I think everybody knows I'm a big Martinelli fan. I love him. I think he's a great player. But Saka's been outstanding. I do love watching Saka as a player. So I think it's been Saka. But you could go Odegaard, Smith Rowe. I think Smith Rowe has just dropped off because of what's gone on in the last few games, and I like them all. And it's nice now. Do you know what? 2-3 seasons ago, Craig, I was saying I don't like any Arsenal players.
You were. I remember it.
Do you know what I mean? I was saying I'm not really into any Arsenal players. Now, you're asking me that there, and I'm thinking, well, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe. I'm liking them all. You know what I mean? Like Tommy Asu, I'm a big fan. Ben White, I like Ben White for some unknown reason. I like Ben White. I like Gabriel. So there's a few, you know what I mean? But if I had to push one, someone asked me what name you'd have on the back of the shirt, would be Martinelli. I just like saying about the kid. I just sort of sways me to him more than anybody else. Why, I don't know. Maybe it's because he's Brazilian.
Well, for me, you'll be surprised to hear that it's Aaron Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale, goalkeepers union again, hands up. But the way he's come in and the way he's answered his critics, you couldn't have wished it to go any better for the player. I love the way he is with the fans. I love the way he's on the pitch, and I think that the defence as a unit is better. Not just because of him, but, I think he helps make the defence a better unit. He's very vocal, very commanding, very athletic. Okay, I think the last few games there, he hasn't been.
He hasn't been at his best.
He has been, but as a goalkeeper, you're going to go through. You're going to go through them moments.
I agree.
As long as you're still winning. I'm not too bothered about it. Do you know, I'm not going to be too bothered about it, to be honest. I mean, if you score one more than your opponents, you're going to win, aren't you? So
yeah, I agree.
Although Aaron Ramsdale, everyone looks to Aaron Ramsdale when he concedes goals. I mean, I can't blame him for the 2 goals at winning yesterday. I mean, that equaliser. Oh, what a goal that was! That equaliser. The overhead kick, and then of course the one then I thought was awful by Granit Xhaka, and then Gabriel. I thought Gabriel was very poor the way he dealt with that. So I can't really fault him. But Aaron Ramsdale for me, he's my favourite player so far this season. Last question before we all go and watch Everton beat Spurs. Again from Karen, for both Craig and Lee, in your opinion, how many years do you think it will take to challenge or even win the league?
I can't see Arsenal winning the league for a very, very long time, unless there's massive investment. I can't, because every time we go one step forward, Man City will go 1 or 2. Same with Chelsea. Well, maybe not to Chelsea now, but Newcastle. But I do expect us to be challenging within the next 2 years.
Mm.
I really do. I don't know about winning it, but I do expect us to be this time next season, the season after, or the season after. It's Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool say going for it. Certainly not going to be the favourites, but that's what I would expect.
Absolutely. This one comes in from Jason. Thank you, Jason, for your kind donation. He says, "Great show as always, guys. Hope you're both well. Hope to see you soon, judges." Jay. Thank you very much, Jason.
Jason,
I hope you're well too,
Jason, lovely guy,
and enjoying what's happening at the moment. This one in from Wayne. These players are playing with their hearts on their sleeves. Absolutely agree. The way Martinelli talks about the club, you can tell they love Arsenal as much as the fans do. And again, Lee, that's massive again, isn't it? Because he's right. Wayne is completely right. The way they're talking about the club, you know that they're getting it. They get what it's all about. They get what it is to be an Arsenal player.
I've always said this, Craig. When a player turns around and says, "I only want to come to Arsenal because of Champions League," don't have them. Just come here because you want to play for Arsenal, and that's what we've got now. None of those boys are here, because they want Champions League, because of Champions League football. They're here because they want to play for an Arsenal Football Club. They want to get Champions League, but they want to get it with Arsenal. They want to win titles and trophies with Arsenal. It's a big, big difference. So I'm always a big thing of that. Come and play for your... Partey left a Champions League club to come and play for Arsenal. Big, big thing. So Tierney left his own club, Celtic. I know, Celtic and all that. Still his team that he supported to come and play for the Arsenal. These kids coming through love it at the Arsenal. So, and I think that's why there's doubts whether people want to play for Man United, because they're looking at it money-wise and things like that. They're only going to play for Man United if you pay me £300,000 a week or whatever. Great.
Well, we saw it with Alexis Sanchez, didn't we? He went there for the money. And after 2 days, wanted to come back to Arsenal. So
yeah. So it's a different thing about I love it that they want to play for the Arsenal, and that's a big thing for me, Craig, and it's proving it. And you can see there's a love and affection from those players, and that's what you want. We've got it now, and it's good to see. Listen, I was craving for the players to come over and clap the fans for years. They're all doing it now.
Yeah, the culture. I think the whole culture of the club is changing.
Yeah,
and I think a lot to do with it is the way Mikel Arteta has gone in.
Yeah, I think it's right. He's done some good stuff.
Yeah,
he has done some good stuff.
On that note, an hour has passed, Lee. I mean, I was joking.
We said we wouldn't do an hour, didn't we?
Yeah,
I was
joking with you before we come on air about just being me and you that we weren't going to do an hour, but we're just real close to it. Lee, thank you very much, mate, for coming.
No problems. It's always a pleasure.
Talking about the game. Anything on Lee Judge's TV this week we should be looking out for?
We've got a couple of things coming up. I've got. I'm trying to sort out tomorrow an interview with George, the blind fella, George. You know what I mean? He's got some tremendous stories, tragic story as well that he's going to be telling us about. I'm going to leave it up to him to tell. It'll break your heart when he tells you. But he's got the most fantastic sense of humour ever as well, and I just want to get him on speaking about Arsenal and his experiences with it, and what he does, and believe it or not, he plays cricket as well, and he's a fantastic guy and a real inspiration for Arsenal fans. And we've got him on this week. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be doing that, and hopefully a little bit with Kevin, but Kevin's busy with Everton and everything at the moment. I don't know if they're playing this week. So other than that, that's it, and we move on to the stuff on at the weekend with the Leicester game.
Great stuff. We will be back with you. I'm not too sure if there's going to be a foreman and a mic tomorrow. I will let you know as soon as I know. We've got the Always Arsenal show, obviously, on Thursday. That is at 8:30. I've been warned by Amanda not to get it wrong this week, so I've got it up in front of me here. Thursday, 8:30. Amanda is going to be talking to British actor Terry Stone. If you don't know who Terry Stone is, he was the main character in Once Upon a Time in London, and he has also been in the rather successful Rise of the Foot Soldier films. He's the fellow with the big blonde wig. If you haven't seen him, so Amanda will be talking to Terry Stone on Thursday at 8:30. So be there, and I'll let you know about Foreman and a Mic tomorrow sometime.
Is he a gooner?
Is Terry Stone a gooner? Do you know? I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
There's a backstory there that Amanda won't. Amanda won't let me know, but
that'd be interesting.
But there's a backstory. There's a backstory to it about how they know each other. So I'm sure she'll get something out of him. Anyway, we could make him a gooner. We could. There's no reason.
Nah, if he's not a gooner,
we can make him a gooner. We can make him a gooner. So yeah, we'll see you all during the week. Remember to go over to Lee's channel as well, Lee Judges TV. Give him a subscription if you haven't already. What a stupid thing to say, because I'm sure you all have. Thank you for staying with us this evening. Thank you to you all for listening on audio. Again, my thanks to Lee. My thanks to you all. Until we see you again, take care of yourselves and each other. Up the Arsenal.
How are you, Gunners?